Morning. Don't know where you are, but where I am. It's early. The whirl's still stretching. The coffee's hot, and the signals are already coming in. Let's take a look before the day starts making demands. This is Signal Check with Adrian North. The screens are just starting to glow, but the patterns, they're already there. Coffee's still too hot to drink. System's warming up. Headlines moving before most people know the day started. Let's pull the signal out of the noise. CrowdStrike and Google just took down something nasty, a botnet called Glassworm, and this one's clever in a dark way. Cyber criminals were using it to infect open source software projects, the kind developers trust, the kind companies rely on. Once that malware is in the code, it spreads to the developers, to the companies using that software. Supply chain poison. The takedown's good news, but here's the thing. Open source runs on trust, one compromised library, and suddenly thousands of downstream projects are vulnerable. We build on what we think is solid ground. Sometimes it isn't. Speaking of supply chains, there's another attack making rounds right now, and it's hitting three major package ecosystems at once: NPM, PyPI, CratesIO. The attack's called TrapDoor. Credential stealing malware embedded in what look like legitimate software packages. Developers pull them down thinking they're tools or libraries, and instead they're installing a backdoor. Your API keys, your tokens, your access credentials gone. And the scary part, these ecosystems are how modern software gets built. If you can't trust the packages, the whole system starts to crack. It's not a flaw in one app, it's a flaw in how we distribute trust. Now let's talk about multi-factor authentication. You've been told it's the solution, right? Second factor, extra layer, you're safe. Except not always. There's this thing called MFA prompt bombing. Attackers have your credentials stolen, phished, whatever, and they just spam you with login prompts over and over, push notifications on your phone. One after another, and eventually people get annoyed, tired. They approve one just to make it stop. And that's it. The attacker's in. MFA was supposed to close the gap, but it turns out humans are still the vulnerability. Fatigue is an exploit. Okay, shifting gears completely. There are 13 independent trail races happening around the country that you need to know about if you care about running and scenery. These aren't your massive branded events. These are the small ones. Waterfall-filled gorges, forests with trees older than your grandparents, courses that challenge you and then reward you with views that make you forget why your legs hurt. Trail Runner magazine put together the list, and honestly, it's a reminder that some of the best experiences aren't the ones everyone's heard of. They're ones tucked away, run by people who care more about the trail than the head count. Here's something you might not know exists. There are entire alternative internets operating right now outside of HTTPS. Protocols like Gemini, Gopher, Finger. They're minimalist, text-focused, deliberately stripped down. No ads, no trackers, no infinite scroll. Just information. There's a whole community building and browsing on these networks, sort of a quiet rebellion against what the web's become. It's not mainstream, but it's growing. And honestly, there's something appealing about an internet that loads instantly and doesn't try to sell you anything. A slower lane, a different signal entirely. And finally, this one's wild. The FBI just issued a warning about a ransomware group called Silent Ransom Group. They're targeting law firms. But here's the twist. They're not just hacking remotely. They're showing up in person. Social engineering their way into offices, into server rooms, directly accessing databases. It's old school espionage mixed with modern extortion. And law firms are high-value targets, client data, case files, privileged communications, everything you'd want to leverage. We got so focused on defending the digital perimeter that we forgot Sometimes the threat walks through the front door. That's signal check for today. Close the tabs, step outside, the day is waiting. We'll talk again next time.